Hello viewers, let's come to my channel. In today's class, we are coming to talk about quadratic factorization. In our previous class, we did talk about common factors. We also did talk about what method of grouping, all under what factorization. But in today's class, we are coming to talk about what quadratic factorization. Over here today, we are coming to talk about how to solve quadratics. Very simple, using just 2 seconds of our time. Just taking what 2 seconds of your time to solve what quadratic equations. So you wait to the end of the class and you get to know what how to factorize this quadratic factorization. Very simple without suffering. The moment the question is given to you in your competitive exams or your competitions that you find yourself, within 2 seconds of your time you should get what your answer. Very simple. So let's get started and solve some quadratic equations. So when quadratic equation like x squared plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0 is given to us, how do we solve such questions? How do we solve them? What we do is that we compare it with ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to what? 0. So what we say is that we always multiply a by c. A by what? C. So after multiplying a by c, in this our case 1 by 6, that is 6. So we find factors of 6. Factors of 6, that is 1, 2, 3 and 6. That is both positive and negative factors of 6. Positive and negative factors of 6. So with these positive and negative factors of 6, what are we going to do with it? We find these two of the factors that when you multiply, we get the 6, but when you add, we get the 5, which is the b. So when you multiply, you get a and c, you get the multiplication of a and c, but when you add, you get what? B. So in this case, two of them when I multiply, I'll get positive 6 as my a and c, and also get positive 5. So with so doing, I could see that it is what? 2 and 3, which are what? My factors. Okay, so if 2 and 3 are my factors, both positive 2 and positive 3 are my factors, what am I going to do with this positive 2 and positive 3? I'm just going to replace this with what? This 5. So with so doing, I'll get x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus the 6 comes is equal to 0. So these factors have been able to help me to split this number into into 2, so that I can go ahead by using method of grouping to solve this particular question. If you don't understand method of groupings, you can go below the link and click there. You see my videos on method of grouping to select see how we solve method of grouping. So let's continue to factorize such question like this. So we group them. We group them in twos. So after grouping them in twos, we see which ones are common, which variable or which number is common here at the same time is common here. Then we come to the second bracket, which one is also common here is also common here. So in so doing, we could see that x is common here, and over here we could see that 3 is also common here. So if x being common here, we bring x out. Okay, so what we do is that we divide each side by we divide each thing by our common factor. So dividing x squared by our common factor, which is x, we all know that x is the same as x times x. So x simply cancel x, leaving us with x, and our plus sign comes. Then dividing our second thing, which is 2x by x cancel x, leaving us with with 2 here. Okay, so getting here, you can see that our common number, that a number that can go here at the same time go here is is 3. Since there is no common variable here, we just maintain it like that. So we divide each thing by our common variable. So our common factor. So we dividing 3x by our common factor, which is 3. 3 cancels 3, leaving us with x plus. Okay, dividing the 6 also by our common variable, common number, which is 3. 3 goes here 1, 3 goes here 2. So we're leaving us with 2. The whole thing is equal to 0. Okay, so from this step, what you do is that, okay, so after that, what you do is that you pick those ones outside the bracket and put them in one bracket. Then as we did to common factors, then what are inside the bracket, you see always they will be the same. So you pick one and put those ones also outside the bracket 1, then that will be your final answer. So with that, we get x plus 3 in one bracket, another x plus 2 also in another bracket. Then remember the whole thing is also equal to 0. From this step, what you do is that you pick each of the brackets, then you equate it to 0. So I pick x plus 3 equals 0. So x is equal to -3. I also pick x plus 2 equals 0. So x is equal to -2. So therefore, my answers for this question is -2 and -3. Okay, so solve this question very simple. Very simple when you see them in your exams, when you want to use it to any competitive exam within 2 seconds. This is how we go about it. Right from this step, when you get your answers right from this step, when you get your answer, when you get your two factors that you are going to use right from this step. So from this step to this step, it not even take you more than 1 second to what, to get your factors. So when you get your factors, what you do is that when your factors are negative, you make them positive. When your factors are positive, you make them negative, and that will be your answer. If only and if only the coefficient of a, the coefficient of x squared, that is a, is 1. But when the coefficient of x squared, that is a, is 2 or more, what you do is that after getting your answers, let's take it 2 and 3, after getting your answers to be, because they are positive, I'll negate them. After getting my answer, when the coefficient of what, x squared is 2, then I divide both sides by what, 2. But when it is 1, I just leave it like that, and that is my answer. With so doing, when you practice it more, you get to know that you'll be perfect with it. And when these questions are given to you in your exams, it will not even take you more than 3 seconds to solve it. The moment they give it to you, they give the question, you are ready to give an answer. With so doing, we thank you for joining us in our today's class. Hope to see you next time as we bring you more on multiplication of two binomials. Thank you once again. Please subscribe to our channel and make sure that